We're living in unprecedented times. Around the world, medical teams are doing an amazing job in tackling the coronavirus. In the UK, our brilliant NHS, thousands of key workers and volunteers are leading the battle against COVID-19. Many of us are following government advice and staying at home in lockdown. Before the pandemic hit, myself, Neal, aka BBQ Explorers, and the Smokin Elk had talked about collaborating on a video project for YouTube. The virus put a stop to that idea. However, as barbecue mad people, we are determined not to be beaten, so we have used a bit of online tech to create a new video show for the barbecue community. Welcome to the Lockdown BBQ Show. Coming up in today's show, the Smokin Elk gives us an exclusive lockdown tour of his barbecue shack. We catch up with what some of you were cooking outdoors last weekend. And our special guest for our very first show is the barbecue legend, Marcus Bowdon. Hi everyone, we're hoping you're coping really well during lockdown. The Smokin Elk and myself have created this show for you, the barbecue community, and we hope that many of you will get involved in the coming weeks. So Elky, how are you coping with lockdown?
Not too bad. I've probably got the weather to thank for that. I think if the weather was bad, it'd be awful. But the one thing I do miss a lot is being able to cook lots of food for groups, for family and for friends. So that's the thing that's really getting to me. But other than that, we can't complain. We're blessed with the weather and we're blessed with our barbecues. How about you?
It's been tough. It's been challenging for the whole family. My kids are very active and they're missing the opportunity of actually being out and about and playing sport. But I think for all of us, it's important about, being safe, staying at home and following sort of government guidance. Now, everyone watching, we thought we'd give you a bit of an opportunity now to find out a bit about us and our sort of barbecue background. Elky, how long have you been involved in barbecuing and when did you start your YouTube channel?
I've been involved for about 5 years now. The usual route of absolutely smoking to death your initial food, and then obviously improving over the years. And then a couple of years ago, I started the Instagram page, which went really well. It's been really well received, and that naturally led on to me doing some videos on the Instagram stories, and then creating the YouTube channel. And it's been really well received, so I hope to continue to build that. How about you? How did you start your journey?
Started about 7 years ago. Again, like everyone else, I started off by just cooking sausages and burgers badly. I went on a Weber course, which was up in Abingdon. It was a fantastic location. The course was brilliant. The tutors were great. And ever since then, I just wanted to learn more and more about barbecuing. And a couple of years ago on Instagram, I set up a page called BBQ Explorers because for me, I felt I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn from the experts, see what everyone was doing, and just learn more about, what I enjoy and what I love. And barbecue is just the best.
It is the best. It's definitely the best hobby to learn because you get to eat everything that you create while you're learning. You get to eat the end result, so you can't complain, can you?
Over the coming weeks, we're going to be taking a look at some pretty amazing barbecue setups. But I'm incredibly envious of the Smokin Elk because he's got one of the best barbecue setups I've ever seen. Elky, tell us all about it.
My barbecue shack is otherwise known as my happy place. Absolutely delighted with the shack. Thanks to my father-in-law, whose idea it was. I went from having a gazebo 2-3 years ago that blew away a few too many times and was absolutely wrecked. And we had a kitchen extension done a couple of years ago that my father-in-law helped us with. And I said, can you build a roof for my barbecues? And he came back a day later with a full design with a bar and a full-on shack. And I said, absolutely fantastic. So here I am now. He's built me this amazing shack that houses all my barbecues. It enables me to barbecue all year round, which is great, whatever the weather. I mean, if it wasn't for the shack, I don't think I'd have as much as a social media presence because being able to cook outdoors all year round is just amazing. So can't beat it.
And what are you cooking for the YouTube channel this week?
So this week, well, funnily enough, I was supposed to be in Thailand right now. We had a 3-week holiday to Thailand booked, which obviously was cancelled for obvious reasons. So I thought I'd cook up a few Thai dishes. If I can't go to Thailand, I'll bring Thailand to me. So I started with the first one last night, which was called Gai Yang, which is Thai grilled chicken. I've actually filmed it. I've done a video for it. So I'm aiming to get that on my YouTube channel Friday afternoon. So if any of you followers fancy cooking up some Thai food over the next week, and want to show off your Thai food, then post it on Instagram, use the hashtag Lockdown BBQ Show, and we will try and feature as many as possible.
And now it's time to have a look at what you've been cooking at home on your barbecues.
I do like what the hairy one was doing there. It's just a shame his Kamados are the wrong colour. But hey ho, what have you been cooking this week, Neal?
Last weekend we did pork and cider. It's absolutely delicious. We basically had a pork joint which was about 1.5 kilos. I had some carrots, some celery and some onions, about 600 ml of cider and a few sort of teaspoons of sugar. Left it on the Weber for about 2 hours, with about half a chimney starter of coal. It's absolutely delicious. The family love it. And the vegetables, once they've been in that cider for a couple of hours, is absolutely amazing.
Oh, it sounds it. I'm salivating here. You've made me hungry again already. So that sounds fantastic.
Now it's time for our special guest. Elky, how much does this man mean to you?
Oh, an awful lot. I mean, this is the man that created the Facebook group that started me, put me well on my way on my barbecue journey. So, yeah, I've got a lot to thank this guy for. So, over to you. Let's introduce the man.
Let's play the film.
We're delighted to say that our first special guest on the Lockdown BBQ Show is an Hawaiian shirt-wearing barbecue superstar. A man who has encouraged so many of us to get into barbecuing through his Country Wood Smoke Facebook group, which now has over 21,000 members sharing ideas and tips on a daily basis. From his HQ in rural Devon, he created and runs the UK Barbecue School, prepared all the recipes for his best-selling book Food and Fire, and produces films for his YouTube channel. He is, of course, Marcus Bowdon.
Marcus, thank you ever so much for being our first guest on the Lockdown BBQ Show.
Absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me here.
Great to have you on.
Marcus, how are you and your family coping with lockdown?
It's interesting time. So we're probably among the fortunate few. I can work from home with my day job. I'm doing a lot of barbecue work from home, videos and writing articles and recipes and things. We've got a lovely garden here. We're very lucky.
Marcus, can we take you back a few years now? When did you start really getting the love for outdoor living and outdoor cooking?
Moving here. So we moved here 10.5 years ago. And here is, like I said, rural Devon. It's, it's in the middle of nowhere, really. And we moved here from Exeter. And I had a flat in Exeter, so not really much chance to barbecue there. And moved here, and I just started eating meat again after 14 years of being a veggie. And
that's a crazy story.
It's anyone who knows me knows that. So, that's very or not unusual, but it's very different. And moved here, and there was a farmer across the road there, and he sort of took me under his wing really, and I did some basic butchery with him. And we started doing crazy stuff like cooking whole pigs and, did that in my first year. I built a pizza oven and it sort of took off from there, really. So it's, I started blogging sort of straight away, really, because I saw there was a bit of a gap. So, it all sort of kicked off about 10 years ago, really.
So you mentioned there was obviously a bit of a gap. When you were getting back into it, so to speak, Country Wood Smoke and things like that didn't exist. Since then, obviously, it's been a huge source of inspiration for me, especially starting up, and even now, it kind of got me on my journey, so to speak. What gave you the idea to set it up, and did you ever imagine that you'd be sat here with over 21,000 members now?
No, so, I mean, Country Wood, so the Facebook group is a bit of what I do, really. I started my blog well before I started the Facebook group. So, I mean, the blog was 10 years ago I started, and at the time nobody was really interested in barbecuing, sort of 10 years ago really. Everyone was still burning their burgers and sausages, and but certainly there wasn't any other sort of blogs around about barbecuing. There was really only one other male blogger that I can remember, Dan Toombs, who's a really good friend of mine. He took me under his wing somewhat and encouraged me and supported me. And I mean, I chatted with him earlier about a few things. He's always looked after me. He's a top bloke, and
he is a good guy.
Yeah, he's really good. And 10 years ago, there wasn't anything else for people who wanted to look at barbecues. A couple of forums and stuff, and that was about it, really. I saw the opportunity because lots of people wanted to share what they were doing. So rather than just me saying, look, this is what I've cooked, guys, continuously, which you do on like a Facebook page, which I had for quite a while, I thought people wanted to share what they were cooking as well, so and build that sort of community. So a group, and there wasn't another barbecue group for in the UK on Facebook. So I thought, oh yeah, that's an opportunity to start it off, and it's gone,
You've gone from your Facebook page, your Facebook group, and recently released your book, Fire and Food. How did that come about?
It's one of my 2 goals, and it was a big deal for me. I love writing recipes, and I really felt there was a gap in the market for doing something that was non-American, a bit more global barbecue. There'd been a lot of amazing books out a couple of years previously, Grill Stock, Hang Fire, DJ Barbecue's books, but I just wanted to do something a bit more sort of, I guess, the essence of the British barbecue scene, and I felt there was a place for things like Scotch eggs and, all these things that would inspire people just coming to the first stages of barbecue. It's for those people who just want to come and start learning to do something more than sausages and burgers.
It's a fantastic book, really good book. I've flicked through many a page and cooked a few recipes from it myself, and always it's the way you kind of explain the dishes. There's no overcomplicating things. It's literally, this is your meat, a few simple flavours, treat it to a bit of fire, going to elevate that meat to a different level.
I didn't want a complicated book with, because I'm addicted to cookbooks, and I've got a load of barbecue books, and you open a page on a recipe, and there's like 100 ingredients, and you think, sod that. I wanted something people could follow easy and create some nice food. It doesn't have to be complicated barbecue, does it? As we all know, it's and do some nice tasty food, and
most of the time simple's best, isn't it? So
absolutely, some of the recipes have only got like a couple of ingredients, like pears and honey, and I don't know if you've tried that one, but it's absolutely sublime. You get the caramelization right on it, and it's amazing.
Marcus, what's your favourite recipe in the book?
My favourite recipe? That's like asking which is my favourite child. It's probably the dirty steaks. I mean, I put the dirty steaks at the front for a reason. So that's one thing I'm sort of known for. I didn't come up with that, but I'm certainly sort of encourage that. And I know not everyone understands it, but for me, it's what the book's about. You have food and fire, and you don't need anything necessarily complicated. You just put and a dirty steak is the purest form of that. You've got to have the really good quality charcoal, really nice dry steak, and when you get it right, there's very little things I think that can beat that.
I'm looking forward to trying the dirty Battenberg.
Oh yeah. That one's filthy. It's I started to see all these butchers and stuff doing like Battenberg recipes, but they were wrapping everything in pastry, and they were doing like sausage meat and pork loin. And I thought, well, hang on a minute. There's what my three I call them the three amigos of barbecue: black pudding, sausage, and bacon. Yeah. Now, give me those. I always say to when I'm demoing, give me those 3 things. I can create something different with it. And I thought I'm going to make a Battenberg with the black pudding, sausage meat, and wrapped in bacon weave, and it worked a treat.
It looks amazing, absolutely amazing. I've not actually tried it yet. I'm disappointed in myself for not trying it, but I'm going to have to do it soon, definitely.
If somebody would have told me 10 years ago, just starting to come start to eat meat again, that I'd have to be almost earning a living from barbecue. That would have blown my mind, really. So
brilliant stuff. But you've put in all the hard work over the years, and now you reap the rewards.
Yeah, thank you. I'm definitely getting there with it, and love what I do, and love that I can do sort of barbecue work, really.
Marcus, it's been absolutely fantastic for you to be our first guest on the Lockdown BBQ Show. Thank you ever so much for being a wonderful guest.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
A big thank you to Marcus for coming on the show. We filmed a bit more with Marcus, and those sound bites will be coming up on subsequent shows over the next few weeks. Elky, what did you think of the conversation?
I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I mean, the guy's a legend. It speaks measures of the man that he's willing to take the time out of his day to come on, interview on our channel. And what a fantastic interview. You really can't beat it. So thanks, Marcus. I really appreciate it.
Now, he's absolutely brilliant. Well, that's about it for this show. Thank you all for watching. If you want our contact details, they're coming up. We'd love you to be involved with the programme. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Keep those fires burning. Cheers.